You may have noticed your strength drifting away, struggling to stand from a chair, losing confidence on stairs, or feeling more fragile than you used to. That slow shrinking of muscle, called sarcopenia, steals independence quietly, and I know how that fear sits heavy in your chest. You are not alone, and you do not need long gym sessions or complicated equipment to fight it. In fact, some of the simplest home movements can rebuild muscle, restore balance, and bring back the freedom to move with confidence. Hello, I am Dr. Linda Rose. As a physician who works with older adults every day, I see the same worry. You want to keep living fully, gardening, playing with grandchildren, walking without fear, but the usual advice feels out of reach. You may have tried yoga and enjoyed it, but if your goal is to rebuild lost muscle and stop sarcopenia in its tracks, there are smarter, faster moves you can do at home. Today I will show you 2 Japanese home exercises that are practical, gentle, and incredibly effective for seniors who want real strength, not just flexibility. I will explain why these movements work, how to do them safely, and how to fit them into your routine without overwhelming effort. I promise clear, compassionate guidance, the same advice I give my patients, with small steps that lead to lasting change. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell, so you never miss a simple, science-backed health tip, designed especially for older adults like you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback is invaluable and helps me improve these videos for your benefit. Now, let's begin. Exercise 1. The Japanese Kotsu step. The home movement that switches muscle growth back on. I want to begin with something that surprises many of my patients. Most people think muscle loss only comes from age, but the truth is deeper. Sarcopenia begins the moment your muscles stop receiving strong activation signals. In your 30s and 40s, these signals are strong because you move more, bend more, lift more, and spend less time sitting. But as you move into your 50s, 60s, and 70s, your nervous system becomes less responsive, your balance system slows down, and your muscles stop receiving their usual wake-up calls. What happens next is silent but powerful. The brain gradually forgets how to activate your muscles fully. And that is why even a light stumble can feel so dangerous. You feel weaker not only because your muscle fibers reduced, but because your brain-to-muscle communication has dulled. This is exactly why the Japanese Kotsu step is so transformative. I recommend it to older adults who want to rebuild strength, protect their joints, and restore balance, without needing heavy weights or painful routines. The Kotsu step is gentle, rhythmic, and deceptively simple. It helps your brain remember how to fire your muscles again. And when the brain reconnects with the body, real muscle rebuilding begins. The beauty of this exercise is that it combines 3 benefits in one: balance training, muscle activation, and circulation enhancement. You can do it in your living room, beside your bed, or even near a kitchen counter if you want extra support. I have seen patients in their 70s regain firmness in their legs within weeks of practicing this movement daily. Let me walk you through what the Kotsu step actually is. It originated from a traditional Japanese strengthening method used by older adults who wanted to maintain mobility without stressing their joints. The concept is simple. You lift one leg gently while tightening the standing leg, then switch sides in a slow rhythmic pattern. It looks like marching, but it is not marching. It is controlled. It is mindful. It forces your stabilizer muscles to wake up, your thigh muscles to carry your weight, your ankle muscles to reawaken, and your inner core to come alive. Many seniors only use their legs passively, sitting, shuffling, or walking short distances, but the Kotsu step demands active muscle engagement. This one change flips the switch from muscle loss to muscle rebuilding. Here is how I guide my patients to begin. Stand tall with your feet hip-width apart. Place your fingertips lightly on the back of a chair or against a wall if you need balance support. Now breathe in gently through your nose. As you breathe out, lift your right knee slightly, not high, just enough for your foot to float off the ground. Hold it for a second. During that second, tighten the thigh of your left leg. This tightening is the magic. It sends a signal to your nervous system that the leg is working. Lower your right leg. Then lift your left knee and tighten the right thigh. Slow, controlled, and deliberate. It almost feels too easy at first, but do not let that simplicity fool you. The secret is in the slow rhythm. When muscles do not rely on momentum, they activate more deeply. As you continue this slow stepping, your circulation improves dramatically. Many of my patients struggle with cold feet, swollen ankles, or heavy legs because blood flow weakens with age. But this exercise pushes blood from the bottom of the legs upward, helping lymphatic flow and reducing stiffness. Some even tell me that their legs feel warm for the first time in months after practicing it. Another bonus is that this movement strengthens the hip flexors, tiny muscles that weaken quickly as you age but are essential for walking safely. When hip flexors die down, your steps become shorter, your balance worsens, and your risk of falling increases. The Kotsu step directly reactivates them, giving your walk more stability and power. One of the things I love about this exercise is that it respects your body. There is no twisting, jerking, or bending that can strain the back or knees. If you have arthritis, this movement is gentle enough to practice without flaring pain. If you have a history of falls, the slow pace builds confidence instead of fear. And if you are worried about your stamina, the exercise is short, breathable, and never overwhelming. What matters most is consistency, not intensity. Even 2 minutes per day creates change. Research on similar slow-paced stepping routines in Japan shows that controlled leg lifts increase muscle activation up to 40% more than standard walking. That is why people who perform this technique regularly report feeling more grounded, more stable, and more alive in their lower body. Now let me explain what you should feel while doing the Kotsu step. You should feel the thigh of your standing leg tightening gently, not shaking with strain, just firming up. Your lifted leg should feel light and controlled. Your core should remain slightly engaged, like a soft brace around your midsection. And your breathing should stay calm. If you feel any pain in your knee, reduce the height of the lift. If you feel unsteady, stand near a wall. If you feel tired, slow the rhythm. This exercise belongs to you, and your body should guide the pace. What surprises many seniors is how quickly strength begins to return. By the third day, you may notice that standing from a chair feels easier. By the first week, your steps become more deliberate and stable. By the second week, your thighs begin to feel firmer. And by the third week, most seniors tell me something powerful. I feel more in control of my body. That emotional shift is as important as the physical one. Muscle is not only strength, it is confidence, independence, and dignity. When you rebuild muscle, you rebuild your life. Let me share a story from one of my 72-year-old patients. She came to me after feeling frightened by a near fall on her stairs. Her legs felt weak, and she avoided going outside alone. I taught her the Kotsu step and asked her to practice it for 90 seconds twice a day. She was hesitant at first because it seemed too easy. But after 9 days, she told me she could lift her grocery bags without relying on her arms. After 3 weeks, she walked confidently into my clinic without holding the wall. And after 2 months, she said something that touched my heart. I feel like I got a part of myself back. That is the power of small, smart, consistent movements. There is one more important detail. Sarcopenia affects not just your big muscles but your stabilizer muscles. The tiny fibers that keep you balanced when the ground shifts, when you step over something, or when you catch yourself from falling. These stabilizers respond best to slow, deliberate movements. The Kotsu step is one of the few home exercises that targets them naturally. Your ankles, calves, knees, and hips begin to work together like a team again. When these muscles coordinate, your risk of falling drops dramatically. This is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you age. The ability to stay upright, steady, and confident. If you want to increase the challenge over time, you can add gentle variations. You can hold the lifted knee for 2 seconds instead of 1. You can tighten your standing leg slightly more. You can slow the rhythm even further. Or you can raise your arms slightly to engage your upper body. But remember, these are optional. The basic version is powerful enough on its own. For many seniors, especially those over 70, gentle progression is more than enough to rebuild muscle. I encourage you to practice the Kotsu step daily. You can do it while waiting for your tea, while watching television, or as part of your morning routine. Keep it light, keep it calm, and keep it consistent. Your body will reward you. Exercise 2. The Japanese Seiza Rise. The floor-to stand movement that rebuilds full body strength and stops sarcopenia fast. I want to share with you one of the most powerful strength-building movements ever created for older adults, and it comes straight from traditional Japanese culture. It is called the Seiza Rise. You may have seen Japanese elders sit on the floor gracefully and then rise up without struggling. This simple movement is the secret behind their exceptional mobility and long-lasting strength well into their 70s and even 80s. Many Western seniors avoid floor movements because they fear they will not be able to get back up. But this is exactly why the Seiza Rise works so well. It trains your core, hips, thighs, and glutes in the most natural way a human body was designed to move. It restores confidence, rebuilds independence, and turns everyday activities like standing, bending, and walking into effortless actions again. Let me begin by explaining why this movement is so vital for fighting sarcopenia. When you stop getting down to the floor, your body gradually loses the ability to stand up from low positions. It begins with small changes. You start avoiding kneeling. You avoid sitting on low stools. You stop bending to pick things from the floor. Slowly your thigh muscles weaken, your glutes stop firing, and your core becomes passive. This is the pathway to sarcopenia. Because if your big muscles stop activating fully through a full range of motion, your nervous system shuts down their strength signals. What makes the Seiza Rise so powerful is that it restores that full range naturally. It teaches your body to move from the ground up again, which is a movement pattern that activates almost every major muscle needed for healthy aging. You begin this exercise from a gentle kneeling posture, called Seiza. Many seniors assume kneeling will hurt their knees, but with proper technique it becomes surprisingly comfortable. I guide my patients to use a soft cushion or folded towel under their knees. This reduces pressure and gives a feeling of safety. Start with your knees hip-width apart and sit your hips back onto your heels. If your ankles feel tight, place a small rolled towel under them for support. This position opens your hips, lengthens your spine, and begins strengthening the muscles around your knees. Even sitting in this posture for 30 seconds a day improves flexibility in areas that often become tight and stiff with age. Once you are in the Seiza position, I want you to breathe deeply through your nose. Feel your belly expand softly. Then place your hands lightly on your thighs. This is your starting point. The goal of the Seiza Rise is to move from this kneeling position all the way up to a standing position in one smooth, controlled motion. It may sound simple, but it wakes up your entire lower body. When you rise, your thighs activate, your glutes push upward, your core stabilizes your torso, and your ankles give support. It is a beautiful chain of movement that retrains the entire body. Here is how to perform it. From the Seiza sitting position, lean your body slightly forward and shift your weight onto your toes. Keep your spine long and your chest open. Now bring one foot forward so that it is flat on the floor. Most seniors find it easiest to bring the right foot forward first, but you can choose whichever side feels natural. Once your foot is planted, press gently into it and begin lifting your body upward until you come to a half-kneeling position. Pause here for a moment. This pause allows your nervous system to recognize the new position and activate the appropriate muscles. Then lean slightly forward and push firmly through your front foot to stand all the way up. This movement is the foundation of natural strength. It mirrors how we used to stand when we were younger, climbing from the ground to upright without thinking. But with age and reduced movement, this pattern weakens. Practicing the Seiza Rise brings it back to life and strengthens your legs far more effectively than many gym exercises. When seniors begin this exercise, they often tell me they feel a gentle burn in their thighs and hips. This is good. It means your muscles are waking up. If anything feels too intense, you can use a chair, wall, or sofa for support. Place your hand lightly on it while rising to feel safe. If your knees are sensitive, use extra cushions or raise your hips slightly while kneeling. You can even place one hand on your knee while standing to help guide yourself up. These small adjustments make the exercise accessible to almost everyone, even those in their 70s or 80s. Now let me explain why the size rise builds muscle faster than many other home exercises. It forces the body to go through almost 90 degrees of movement at the hip, knee, and ankle. When you stand only from chairs, your muscles get used to moving through limited range. But when you move from the floor, your muscles stretch and contract more fully, waking up deeper fibers that have been dormant for years. This full activation stimulates muscle rebuilding in a way that simple walking or standing cannot. It strengthens your glutes, which are the powerhouse muscles responsible for balance and fall prevention. Many seniors who have weak glutes walk with small steps, lean forward while moving, or lose balance when turning. But after consistent practice of the size rise, these movement patterns improve naturally. Another benefit is core activation. Many seniors think core training means sit-ups or planks, but that is not necessary. When you rise from the floor, your core automatically tightens to support your spine. This natural activation strengthens your abdomen without strain. A strong core improves posture, reduces back pain, and helps you maintain balance even on unstable surfaces. I often tell my patients that a strong core is more valuable than a strong arm or a strong shoulder. Because your core is your stabilizing force. It protects you. One of the things I love about this exercise is how it affects your confidence. Seniors who lose the ability to get up from the floor often live with quiet fear. They avoid sitting on the ground with grandchildren. They avoid kneeling in prayer. They avoid picking things from under the bed. This fear slowly erodes independence. But when you practice the size rise, that fear begins to disappear. You begin trusting your body again. I have seen emotional transformations when seniors realize they can rise from the floor without help. They often smile, tear up, or laugh out of relief. It is a moment of reclaiming personal strength. Let me share a story. One of my patients, a 75-year-old man, told me he avoided sitting on the floor for more than 15 years because he feared getting stuck. When I taught him the size rise, he struggled at first, but he practiced every morning for 30 seconds. After 3 weeks, he could stand up from one knee without holding anything. After 2 months, he sat on the floor during family gatherings again. His daughter told me she cried when she saw him play with his grandchildren on the carpet. These simple moments bring life back into your years. The size rise also improves circulation. When you move from kneeling to standing, blood rushes upward through your legs. This helps reduce swelling, warm the muscles, and improve overall circulation. Seniors with cold legs or numbness often say they feel more alive in their lower body after practicing this movement. The ankles, in particular, benefit greatly. They gain stability and strength, which is essential for preventing falls. Weak ankles account for many balance issues, yet few exercises target them effectively. The size rise does so naturally. If you find it challenging at first, do not worry. You can practice partial movements until you gain strength. For example, you can start by moving from a seated position on a low stool instead of the floor. This gives your legs the same activation with less challenge. You can gradually lower the stool height over time until you feel ready for the floor. Slow progression is still powerful. What matters most is that you move your body through the pattern it was designed to use. Over time, your size rise will become smoother. Your hips will open more. Your thighs will grow stronger. Your glutes will fire more quickly. And your core will stabilize naturally. This transformation may feel slow at first, but every repetition sends a message to your brain. I am strong. I can move. My body still works. This shift in mindset is invaluable for seniors. The final beauty of this exercise is how little time it requires. 1 or 2 minutes per day is enough to create change. 3 minutes is excellent. I tell my patients to link it to an existing habit. Do it before brushing your teeth, after waking up, or before bedtime. Consistency creates results, not intensity. The Japanese have a saying, Strength lives in the daily movements. The size rise is one of those movements. It rebuilds the body, rewires the nerves, and restores confidence. Your age does not limit you. Your unused muscles do. And today is the perfect day to wake them up again. As we come to the end of this video, I want you to take a moment and think about something important. Your body has carried you through every season of life. Every joyful moment, every hardship, every memory you hold today. Your body has been there with you, doing its best. Sarcopenia may feel like an enemy, but it is really your body's way of asking for attention, for movement, for renewal. And the beautiful thing is that it responds quickly, no matter your age. Whether you are in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you can still rebuild strength. You can still stand tall. You can still live with confidence. The 2 Japanese exercises we explored today are more than simple routines. They are a bridge back to independence. The Kotsu step wakes up your muscles and restores balance. The Seiza rise reconnects you with the full strength of your legs, hips, and core. Together, they form a powerful foundation for mobility, stability, and daily freedom. Start small. Stay gentle. Be consistent. You will be amazed at how your body changes when you give it the right signals. I want you to remember that progress is not measured in perfection. It is measured in every step where you feel more secure, every moment where you rise with less effort, and every day where your fear of falling begins to fade. You deserve a life filled with ease, confidence, and dignity, and your strength is still within reach. If you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with someone who may need these gentle reminders. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss a simple, science-backed tip designed especially for older adults like you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I am Dr. Linda Rose, and I will see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep moving forward.